Okay, okay. Yes, yes, so what if I didn't press the button the second the clock struck the high noon hour? I am but a man. I am but a mortal man of flesh and blood. And I am prone to flaw and foibles. But you know what? No, I don't accept this. Not today. Not under these circumstances. I pressed the button. It's not my fault that it takes 2 calendar seconds for my entire system to lock in. But sometimes you just need time to lock in. You know what I mean? I'm locking in. Right now. That's the sound of me locking in. You like that Foley work? I didn't. It hurt my face. Hello, 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 hi! Hello, Stygian. Hello, C. Hello, Kate Orc Mom. Hello. Is that everyone? Did I get that? Ethan transform live on stream. That's right. That's the noise I make when I transform. I have been touched by the Allspark, and I stand before you today a shadow of the former man I used to be. I am now a robotman. Hello, Zeku42. What's poppin'? What's poppin', everyone? I'm coming to you live on this fine Wednesday afternoon. It is 5:03 p.m., and I feel like a radio host when I talk like that. It satisfies some kind of, I don't know, weird fantasy of mine. My weird fantasy of secretly wanting to be a radio host. Frasierification, I call that. It's my deep internal desire to be Kelsey Grammer in the hit television program Frasier. He has a name card. I do. I found this fucking stupid-ass graphic in my... it's just floating around my OneDrive, and I'm like, yeah, I can put that there. I've got some dead space that I can put it towards. And now I've moved and I don't know where it goes, so I'm just gonna leave it up there. No, it's a horrible place to put it. There we go. See, it makes me look professional. That's my thing. Is my lighting better if that's actually off? Ow. That'll do fine. Let's go. Ethan's back. It's me, Return of the King. It's been a while since I've been able to put brush to paint and paint some fun little guys. I say that actually, but that is a lie. Sometimes I like to paint funny little figurines without the camera. And I know that's sick, evil, and twisted of me. You know what I mean? But you know, sometimes I like my me time. Or my E time, as I call it. Because, you know, my name is Ethan, and that's like... It's funny. I'm funny. Everybody laugh. I built this recently. This is probably the biggest thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. Look at this. Look at this fucking race car, man. The lighting is absolutely horrible if I hold it up like that. Hold on. I built a car! I'm so happy about this. If it's not immediately obvious, I've been playing a lot of the hit major motion video game experience Speed Freaks, which is the video game about all the orcs driving the cars. And I built a car that an orc drives. And I'm incredibly happy about that, because he's a funky little guy. I like this car, but there is one thing about this car that I deeply, deeply hate with every fiber of the soul of my being, okay? So, you see this man. This is a car made out of aeroplane parts. It is the Megatrack Scrapjet. The box is still on my floor. I have not thrown it out, and I needed to look at the name for it. So this is a flyboy in a race car, right? On the back here, you see this? You see this little hole back there? There's a man back there, okay? I'm gonna put it as close to the camera as I possibly can. And in fact, I'm gonna see, like, it's very important for you to know that there is a man in there, okay? So when I was building this model kit, right, when I was building the Megatrack Scrapjet, I thought to myself, you know what? There's a little grot that you can build. I'm gonna give him a cool and interesting head. Because for me, I don't like putting the fucking stock standard heads on any of my models because I want to be cool, and I want to kit bash them all, and I want to make them my own, right? So, I saw that there was a little grot that goes in the back here, so I'm like, cool, I'm gonna put the head of the grot from the fucking Mega Knobs that I have, so he has a cool one-of-a-kind head that nobody in the world has ever built in the Megatrap Scrapjet. I'm gonna do it unique, and I'm gonna do it my way. You can't fucking see him. Look, listen, I'm gonna put this at maximum brightness. You can't fucking see the man in there. You see that little lump of plastic in that hole there? That's the grot. That's him. I can't get a paintbrush in there. Like, there's nothing I can do. So I wasted a, like, rare and exclusive grot head on a fucking little guy who you can't see. It's so tiny. I will say, though, I did have a leftover grot from the Squig Hog boys that I got, and so I put him on the back there. You can see him, like, hanging on back there. And he had the original head that came with the Megatrap Scrapjet grot, whatever. So at least I have one cool grot you can see, but I'm insanely pissed that a man lives in here, and not only will you never be able to see him, but I wasted a really cool head. Not only that, in the original model kit, there's like a little fucking crosshair. There's a little like scope aimer thing that's sat at the top there. There's no way you could possibly paint this grot without painting him beforehand and then building the model. I just do things by the instructions. I go step 1, 2, 3, da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, I build the grot. I glue him in his chair. I put the chair in the back. I put the two sides of the fucking Megatrap Scrapjet together. And boom, he's been Cask of Montellado'd, or whatever the fucking dude who died and got buried alive in they riffed on it in The Simpsons. I'm so mad. Ethan's fucking pissed. People tend to ask me how I remain, like, you know, chill and personable, like, you know, 90% of the time. And that's because the other 10% I get unreasonably mad at the smallest things. I just get it out of my system. That's my secret. Love the Scrapjet so much. Me too, Zeku42. See, as I sort of mentioned, and of course I fucked this up immediately as soon as I sit down. As I sort of mentioned, I've been playing a lot of Speed Freaks, which is the orc racing video game, which is actually really fucking fun. And I'm gonna be so sad when the game goes offline in like a year. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of Speed Freaks, and so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna buy an orc car, because that's a video game about orc cars, and that's the end of that sentence. That's as far as my train of logic went. I don't need to think of anything further than that. I'm good. I did it. I composed the thought. He sounds like Gru. Alright, that's a new one. Ben Lamar. Your nails are so pretty. Thank you, YouTube user C. They are the slightly more expensive nail polish brand. I didn't just spend $8 on a bottle of nail polish this time. I spent $12. I am in deep financial stress on account of my own actions. Oh, fuck my life. Whew. Okay. I just entirely went on that tirade while the chat was going on, and I'm so sorry for that. Wacky race car type machine. Honestly, true. Like, even like the default model that the Megatrap Scrapjet comes with is literally like a fucking... Who's the evil guy from Wacky Races? Dick Dastardly? Like, it's him. He's got the fucking big scarf and everything. Alex Sawyer says, at Art of the Cat, any plans to base some old-fashioned outfits on Warhammer stuff? I've tried that before in the past. Like, I think when I first started getting into Warhammer, I made some, like, Warhammer-inspired makeup looks. They seem to do they seem to do pretty well when I made those. But yeah, I think for me, like, Warhammer is so over the top that if I wanted to do some, like, old-fashioned stuff that was inspired by Warhammer, like, I need a few more tools than I have. Like, a while back, I made a... I think it was too long to post as a short, but I posted it on TikTok, and I made a, like, an Ultramarines-inspired makeup look, so, like, blue eyeshadow, like, blue eyeliner was mostly the reason I did it, because I got a thing of blue eyeliner that looked really cool. And what I actually did was I used one of the transfer sheets that you get in all the Space Marine kits. Gotta fucking stop doing that. And I got one of the, like, transfer sheets that you get in all the Space Marine kits, and I, like, put it underneath my eye, like, right there, so I had, like, a little Ultramarine U. And it looked really cool, but I had to destroy, like, 3 transfer sheets to get it right. Because I am notoriously bad at using transfer sheets, so every time I, like, cut out a transfer sheet, I will just absolutely fuck up its application, and then it's gone. It's dead. I can't use it anymore. And so it took me 3 attempts to get the transfer sheet, like, right. And then I was like, cool, this is great. And then 20 minutes later, I had to take it off. So I'm like, you know what? I was gonna say it wasn't worth it, but then again, I have so many fucking Space Marine transfer sheets because you just get a new one in every box. You know what I mean? I use transfers to make my own nails? Hell yes! That's big brain thinking right there. YouTube user Kate Orc Mom. So using them on the nails would be a much better idea. I, like, put them underneath my fucking eye. And it looked really great at the time. But then I had to wipe it off, like, 20 minutes later. And then that transfer sheet was gone forever. I was unable to use it ever again. Real nerd stuff, but you own it to make it entertaining? Hell yes! Casey Duran. Listen, if I'm not entertaining, then all of this was for nothing. And you know what? That may well be the case. But if I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down weird. I absolutely just splashed white on his fucking lip, didn't I? Of course I did. Oh, I fucked up the consistency of this. Way too watery. Now it looks like he has a weird cartoon mouth. Okay. Ethan, I have a question. Ask away. This isn't a space to ask permission for things. Here we just speak off the dome and whatever happens, happens. A makeup look for each chapter would be super fun. I also agree. So I've done 2 of those videos before. I did one for the Ultramarines and I did one for the Blood Angels, but I tried to do the transfer sheet thing for the Blood Angels, and it did not work. Because, like, I tried to do the transfer sheets for, like, the Blood Angels transfer sheets and put them on my face. Wow, I've absolutely fucked this up. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, I should use a way smaller brush for that, because, yeah, now it looks like he's, like, in the middle of brushing his teeth, and he's, like, fucking over-flossed, or is, like, foaming at the fucking lips. But you know what? That's fine. It's all part of the course. Hello, WAAAGH. What's poppin'? I've still yet to find out if I can use Citadel paints on my nails. Honestly, Stygian, if you give it a try, tell me if it kills you. Because if it doesn't, then I might do it myself. Who knows? Painting with some red so he's fast. Now that is a plan. Oh, God. Actually, that's okay. I still needed to put like another sort of... I needed to put another layer of green on his lips anyway, because some of it sort of messed up. So that's fine. It's just a thin, shitty tooth job right now, but I can clean it up. Last week you were wearing a fancy snake shirt and I really want to draw it, so can you tag it? Of course you can tag me. Anybody who draws a picture of me is allowed to post it and tag me freely. And I promise you I'll see it at some point, and I'll very much enjoy it. Sometimes it takes me a while, because I don't check my notifications as much as I should for somebody who is terminally online as I am. The orc has rabies. Honestly, oh god. Was building a Tyranid kill team. We got some unfortunate news this evening. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. YouTube user WAAAGH. Hope everything's all good. But hey, at least the Tyranid kill teams are pretty dope. Do Tyranids have proper kill teams? Or are they just like, or do they just have one of those things where it's like, yeah, you can like play some of them as a kill team? I can't remember if they have a kill team box set of their own or not yet. WAAAGH. That's right. Joe Aquilino. WAAAGH indeed. Here's the $1 million question when it comes to orcs. First of all, the $1 million question is where the fuck is my wraith bone? But after that, my $1 million question when it comes to orcs is, do you pronounce the G? Is it WA or is it WAAAGH? Because I'm listening to one of the audiobooks right now, right? Like, I'm listening to, what is it? It's Brutal Cunning. I'm listening to Brutal Cunning, and the person who reads the audiobook pronounces the G in WA. And it frustrates me to no end, you know what I mean? I'm like, this is not how that is supposed to sound. Like, this isn't it, Chief. WAAAGH? WAAGH? WAAGH? What are you doing? Like in Warhammer 40k Space Marine, they didn't pronounce the G. In half the other things that I've seen, they haven't pronounced the G. But this is an official Games Workshop sanctified book experience. And he's out here going WAAGH. 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 What? I don't know what to think anymore. I pronounce it like wah. See, that's how it's supposed to be. The fact that there's a G in there at all is like a goof. It's a bit. It's not meant to be taken seriously. Okay, let's see. What am I gonna do here? What am I gonna do here? God, that's really bright on the camera, actually. Let's see. For some reason, I decided he should be wearing, like, a white fucking shirt underneath his jacket. And that is gonna give me no end of grief. I've really got to stop trying to paint light colors on, like, black base coats. Because, like, that's just... that ain't it, Chief. That ain't it, Chief. What a cool-ass model, my dude. Thank you, Tuki. The Orc Commandos are actually, like, a really cool model set. All of the Kill Team boxes really cool model sets, honestly. Like... and I can't speak to other ones either, but the Orc Commandos, at the very least, have, like, a shit ton of customization. Like... you, like, pretty much every model you can build two different ways, with, like, a couple of key exceptions. Like, you gotta have a boss knob, you gotta have, you know, a ninja grot, or whatever they're called. Like, there's a couple of things that you're forced to build with the Commandos, but everything else, like, I think it's, like, 8 out of the 11 models, like, have customization options. And I think that's cool as shit. It is supposed to be an orky way of saying war. Yeah, that's... I think it's just a general standardized scream, you know what I mean? Because, like, I think that's kind of, like, one of the cool things about the orcs, is that, like, they're all different, but they're all kind of the same as well. So they all just scream the same way, because that's what their weird little mushroom brains tell them to do. And I think that's beautiful. That's nature in its purest, most simplest form. Show us your collection. My collection consists, YouTube user Uwu, my collection consists of a whole bunch of stuff that I keep out in a fancy little shelf. I was gonna say display, but it's a shelf. And literally all I have around my fucking desk is like a couple of models that I use for, like, you know, posting on videos and stuff like that. So I've got a couple of key highlights of some of my best work out here. I don't know why my light's doing that. Should I just turn that off? Honestly, like, even without the light, that actually looks way... Yeah, it's way less washed out. Anyway, but yeah, all of the models I have around my desk are, like... a couple of, like, really, like, completed projects, and then just a shit ton of, like, half-finished, half-baked, like, in-progress models. Like these assholes. There we go. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna do this. Let's go from over here. There we go. You look familiar. I don't know why. Well, Central Sports, I've been posting stuff on the internet for a while. I'm kind of a big deal. You know what I mean? I'm not. I'm really not. I found out today that I'm going to be missing the first month of college because of surgery recovery. Oh no! I'm sorry to hear that, YouTube user Stygian. But you know what? At the end of the day, health is very important, and you know, sometimes it takes us away from the things that we want to be doing. You know, more than the things we find ourselves needing to do. But you know what? Health is always more important. Health comes first. You know what I mean? At least that's what I think. You can put your health second if you want. I wouldn't recommend it, though. Just in the general grand scheme of things. Ethan, I got 2 rats. Their names are Meatball and Rigatoni. Dope! I fucking love that. Honestly, like, my favorite thing is, like, the weird-ass names. Not weird-ass, but kind of weird-ass. My favorite thing is, like, the weird-ass names people give their pets and things like that. Because you'd think that for a lovable creature who's gonna be in your life for the foreseeable future, you know, you'd give them something, you'd name them something respectful. Like Tony. Or Michael. Or Angelo. But nah, here's my fucking 2 dogs, Shithead and Grumblo. If I was in the misfortunate position to name animals, I would probably call them Shithead and Grumblo, let's be real. It will be to the delight of everybody except for Shithead and Grumblo. The name Meatball came from the Petco employee? Hell yes. You know that Petco employee had already named the rat. God, it must suck working for, like, a pet store or something. Because, like, you're basically taking care of a bunch of animals. You're basically taking care of all of the pet store animals. And then you have to give them away for money. Think about a pet that you have, you know, cared for and raised. Would you sell it? Would you sell them? I don't think the answer would be yes. But that's what the Petco employees have to do. And that doesn't sound like any way to live to me. Hi, how are you? Trinity Lobby, I am good. It is the evening. The day is ending. Things are getting chill. And I'm just painting my boys. My boys. That's my method of operations as well. Just so many half-finished or half-started boys. Honestly, like, I think I'm better than most people in this particular context, and in other contexts as well, let's be honest. But in terms of the pile of shame, I feel like I do alright, you know? Like, outside of... Like, I only bought the Megatrap scrapjet as, like, a little treat for myself to celebrate good news. But I do very much feel like I have the compulsion to finish the models that I have before buying more. So, well, I mean, I say that, and I've still got a bunch of Commandos to finish, and I got the Mega Knobs to finish, I got the Gaz to finish. God, I got the Dakajet that's just sitting over there in the corner mocking me. Actually, you know what? I take it back. I'm just as bad as all of you. I'm just as bad as all of you when it comes to having a pile of shame. Hello, YouTube user The Walnut 360. What's poppin'? I think I have issues because I have 6 hermit crabs, 2 rats as my... That's a lot of hermit crabs. But then again, are hermit crabs really like... Are hermit crabs pets? Or are they just decorations that are alive? Are fish pets? I mean, they live in a tank, and you do have to feed them, technically. But, like... Is it really living? Oh! I'm gonna continuously kick this thing throughout the duration of this stream and everyone that comes in the future. Like, just be prepared for that. I'm not good at what I do. We love hermit crabs. My hermit crabs ate my brothers. Honestly, they'll do that. Crabs are so cool. What funny little guys. We fucking love funny little guys in this house. This is a funny little... This is a pro-funny little guy zone. I just realized he's got this, like, weird little, like, container on his bag, and I don't know if it should be gold, but I'm painting it gold anyway. Is this 40k? This is Warhammer 400,000. I am painting the Orc Commandos, the original Kill Team set. And of course, the second I start painting the Orc Commandos, they get superseded as the default kill team by the new set that just got jumped out. With the Tempestus Aquilans and the Bug Boys. They got bugs now in 40k. I know someone's gonna be happy about that. It's bugs, bro. It's bugs. There we go. What is that? Is that like bolts on the end? I should probably color those in. I eat bugs? God, so real. Is shrimp bugs? I think someone said... I think someone once told me that shrimp is bugs. And if shrimp is bugs, then yeah, I eat bugs too. The new Vespid sculpts are super sick and needed. Hell yes, I agree. Will they need... Is anything needed, though? I don't know. It is an excellent question. Did we have Vespids before? Is this like... I don't know whether Vespids were like a pre-existing concept or whether they're just like, hey, the Tau have bug people now. I would believe either answer, because I don't know jack shit about Warhammer. I'm a fake fan, as I am so often told by people on the internet.org. Then again, the Tau is just a huge lore blind spot for me anyway, because, like, Yeah, I don't know what's going on with them. Ah, we're here for the greater good. Shut up. Nerd. Okay, I'm just under... I love it when a backpack is just full of shit. What's your favorite 40k character? The Walnut 360. My favorite 40k character, I would say... Probably Fulgrim. Love me a jackass who's doomed by his own narrative. Fulgrim is the perfect, pathetic fail boy. Maybe I see myself in him. Who knows? Who knows? Shrimp is bugged. Good! That means I'm correct about things again. We had Vespids, but they were like super old and shitty. They probably still had their charm, you know what I mean? Like... I don't know. I have a soft spot for, like, old Warhammer sculpts. Like, the most delightful thing in the world to me is looking at old Space Marines who are, like, this tall in comparison to their brothers who are, like, this tall. All of the classic Space Marine sculpts look like they're about to tell you they threw up and they need a blankie. Love them. Random question, but where did you get the necklace? It is pretty. Thank you, YouTube user C. I bought this at the Queen Victoria Market from an estranged man selling rocks on strings that you wear around your neck. So you'll never be able to find it. Unless you go to Melbourne and then go to the Queen Victoria Market and you find the strange man selling the rocks. I have a blue one and I have a purple one, and I have to, like, tie them up because they're really long and they go down to, like, here. So you can't see them on my stream, and I have to, like, tie it up around the back so you can actually see it. Anyway, this has been Necklace Chat. With me, your host, Big Ethan. Let's see. Alright. I'm gonna buy a whole army of them just when they get a separate box. Hell yes! Bug army, bug army! Could you, like, if you just want to play Vespids, couldn't you just, like, kit bash Tyranids? Like, that'd basically do the same thing, right? Eats your paint. No! I need that. I need that to do my online activities. Okay, let's see. What am I gonna do? I know my color scheme is like brown and yellow, but I do want to keep his still little hat black. Ah, but then it'll kind of look out of place, you know? I'm probably overthinking it, you know what I mean? I like those, like, stupid little black leather daddy caps. Suits him. The rant about the grot earlier was the necklace corrupting him. Honestly? Yes, this is my crystal. I charge it with all my negative energies. Don't forget to charge your crystals, lads. You painted the bomb squig yet? I haven't even built the bomb squig yet, A-Stick. Like, I don't, for some reason, when I sat down to build the Kill Team box set that I have, I started with all the veteran guard, which is strange for me, because, like, I'm not a guard player. I don't play guard. I guess I've just been painting orcs so long that I wanted a little bit of a palette cleanser. I wanted something new, you know what I mean? So I built up all the guard, had fun building those absolutely just tiny little men. And then from there, it was great. So yeah, I haven't actually finished building all the orcs from the Kill Team set, which is strange for me. I know it's very off-brand. And I know that when you exist on the internet and put yourself out there, you're only allowed to ever be one thing, and you're not supposed to deviate or change from that branding under any circumstances, otherwise people will tell you you've sold out or that you've changed, man. I'm just a weird little guy, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I love my bomb squigs. I love my bomb squigs too, or at least I will when I build them. I gotta finish my squig hog boys too. Like I've got they're just sitting in a little Tupperware container at the edge of my desk, just begging to be painted. All right, I know I said my pile of shame isn't that big, but literally the more I think about it, just the worse it gets. So I'm gonna stop thinking about it because that will actually solve the problem. I'm so fucking smart. If you don't think about it, it can't make you sad. Any recommendations on paint for the models? Possibly any paints to avoid? I mean, I mostly use Citadel paints. Like, I think the biggest thing to keep in mind when you're choosing paints is, like, it's a tool at the end of the day. And so, like, every paint is just used a little bit differently. You know what I mean? Like, all of the paints that I use are of the same brand. Like, I pretty much mostly use Citadel paints just because that's what I have. You know what I mean? Like, that's not really a case of, like, personal preference, or like, I think, ooh, Citadel is the only brand you should ever use. But like, I think that, you know, it's all just a matter of practice. And for me, the big thing that I found to be really good with Citadel was that when I was learning how to paint, I would watch YouTube tutorials. And when I was watching tutorials about Warhammer 40k, they used the actual, like, Citadel paint, so I knew what all of the colors were. So when I was painting my Space Marines, it was like, okay, I need Macragge blue, Balthazar gold. Like, I have all of these paints that are, like, built for these models, specifically to make them look the particular way. You know what I mean? And, like, yeah, it's possible to get a good job using, like, Army Painter paints as well. I think Army Painter is, like, what a lot of people recommend for, you know, relatively cheap paints that also do a good job. But then people are also like, oh, you should only use Valero, or, like, you should only use this strange brand you can only get in the United Kingdom that's sanctioned by this one influencer that only 5,000 people know. Like, paint is paint at the end of the day. You could go down to a craft store and get, like, a little tube of, like, shitty children's acrylic paint, and you could use that. Probably wouldn't be as good, but it's still possible to use. So, yeah, I think in terms of colors, like, if you're wanting to, you know, paint official Warhammer models, you know, Citadel's great because they have tutorials on, like, which paints you should actually use and how to get the most out of those specific paints. Army Painter is good if it's cheap and it's, like, readily available. You know, it's slightly cheaper than Citadel, so you can get, like, a little bit more value for money that way. And they also have a lot of, like, boxed kits of paints that you can get for a lot cheaper if you want to buy in bulk, which is always a good idea. But yeah, this is a very long-winded way for me to say, hey, paint brands you should use? I got no fucking idea, man. You look like a Jim Carrey from Temu. Thank you, YouTube user Fan Terrible. That makes me feel great. It's just how my face looks. The pile of shame haunts me. Me too. Yours specifically, Stygian. Your pile of shame haunts me. You gotta do something about that. We have a real Dwarven Forge forest level pile of shame. It does make me feel a little better. I just got a bunch of shit on my floor. And I feel bad enough about that. Okay. I need to take a second break. Just got reminded of the psychic divorce frog. I will not provide context. Yeah, that's just the plot of the Muppets movie. Like, we know. You know, Kermit and Miss Piggy got a divorce. And it was really sad. It was a really sad moment in Muppets history. For some reason. Wow, they really made those two get a divorce, didn't they? Insanium. Okay, that's way too thick. I need to thin that down. What greens are you using for the orc flesh? Aha! I do have an answer for this question. I say as soon as I immediately get sidetracked and not answer it. What greens are you using for the orc flesh? My brother is a fellow orc enjoyer, but he leans on the WAAAGH flesh side of things. So, for me, like, I've never actually used WAAAGH flesh on any of my orcs. Like, I don't know if that's good. I don't know if it's bad. It's just something that I've never done. I've thought about making, like, one orc with WAAAGH flesh just to see how it looks. But then I would just have this, like, weirdly, like, dark green orc out of my entire army. But no, I actually use Death Guard green for my orc's flesh. So I use Death Guard green for the base paint, and then I basically coat the entire thing in Bealtan green, which is a shade paint. So the shade paint actually like it really, I really rely on the shade paint to give the orcs their like flavor of green, I guess you could say, because like they've got a lot of details in their face, as you can see. They've got a lot of like weird, like rough lips and like stretchy, like scream lines, I guess you could call them. So I just go Death Guard green for the base, and then I basically just lather the entire thing in a green shade paint, just so it can get into all the like crevices, nooks, crannies, etc., etc. Animal Crossing reference. There you go. Nooks, cranny. Hey, hey, hey. Let's see. I'll see if I can have an example. Do I have like? Yeah, I've got this guy up here. Actually, yes. As you can sort of see, I've used. So like he's got a very different like skin color to the orc that I was just working on, because I used that base of Death Guard green. And then I let the shade paint really, like, darken it down and really add a lot of, like, natural shadows to a lot of the crevices and stuff like that. You can see it's, like, over on his, like, eyebrows. You can see it's on his cheeks. It's, like, up on his lips as well. Like, all of the... Especially, like, back in his ears as well. You can see there's, like, as it sort of, like, sinks in, it gets a lot darker and gets that sort of, like, natural shadows sort of thing. So yeah, I start light with the green that I use for the skin, and then I really let the shade paints darken it down. Not sure if it's best practice, not sure if other ways would look better, worse, etc., etc. You know what I mean. Maybe you don't, I don't know. Although I did just get, I have also just invested in a pot of Warboss green, which is like a light green layer paint, so I can do some like extra highlighting on like the lips and stuff. So maybe that'll be fun to play with. Moot green to brighten them up. That could be interesting, actually. Because, yeah, I don't really do much in the way of, like, what do I use to dry brush the orc skin? I can't remember. I think I dry brush them in WAAAGH flesh, actually. I did that once. I'm not sure if that's what I do for all of them. Animals? Night in the Woods reference? I will never reference a video game as long as I live. Can't stand them. There should be no indie games. There should only be big blockbuster, big budget, AAA, booty bumping games. I don't know. Nice. I painted a lot of grots, but I never really used shades. Tend towards building lighter colors off a Deathworld Forest as a base. Hell yeah. I don't know, for me, I really love using shade paints, like that's... And I think it's also because I got a, like, I got one of the paint kits for, like, my birthday last year. My partner got me a paint kit, which came with a bunch of the shade paints. And I think the hard thing about the shade paints is that you really need to, like, have them color by color. Like, because, like, you spend so much money on, like, all of the different, you know, base colors that you use to, like, give the model its, like, actual proper colors. And then you don't want to, like, get shade paints on top of that as well. Like, at that point, you just be like, just cover the whole thing in Null Oil. Like, it's inoffensive enough. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Get out of here, Raven Stars. Have a wonderful evening. I need to figure shades out beyond Null and Hegrex. I mean, if you just go for, like, the color that the thing is, I feel like that's a pretty good litmus test. Like, yeah, like, I use Beal Tan Green because it's the green shade. Like, it's the green shade you get in the standard, like, shade paint, like, kit. Well, not shade paint kit, but in the standard, like, base paint kit. It comes with a bunch of shade paints as well. But yeah, I just gave it, like, the standard green. It also comes with, like, Coelia green shade, which is another shade of green, but I think that one's kind of darker. I actually use Coelia green shade for, like, the eyes of the orc to give them some, like, extra shadowing around their, like, sagging eye sockets. There's a little fun fact about my orcs. Do you mix paints much? YouTube user A Stick, I do not. So one of the big things for me when I'm painting is, like, one of the big things that I get in terms of, like, the satisfaction I get from painting is uniformity. So I don't mix paints all that much because I want to make sure that the paints that I'm using will be consistent across all of the models that I'm using them on. So I don't trust myself to mix paints because I know for a fact I'm not going to be able to get the mixture right a second time. I know this about myself, and that's okay. Yeah, so, like, I'm terrified that if I try and, like, mix paints, then I'm just not gonna get the same color the second time round, and that's gonna frustrate me. Maybe I think I have tried mixing paints for, like, skin tones before, because I don't really need skin tones to be uniform, because, you know, skin tones are different across everybody who exists. And I say human skin tones, obviously, like, orc skin tones are all fucking green 24/7. But yes, I think I tried that on, like, one of the models that I did. And, like, it was good, but then I basically undid it by just giving it another layer of, like, the flat color anyway. So I'm like, oh, shit, actually. Man, I wish I could hyperfixate on something that doesn't make me sad. Yeah, it's true. You can't choose your hyperfixations. Because if you could, they wouldn't be fixations. Think about that. I'm starting to get more comfortable using contrast for recesses. Bald red gives a nice red glow around eyes if applied right. Hell yes, Yuan. I have one contrast paint, and I probably would have more if I didn't have so many base paints to begin with. Like, I just have a lot of base paints. Like, I got a base paint set for, I think it was my birthday last year, which I very much value and appreciate. God, that's coming up again, too. Jesus Christ. Wow. But yeah, yeah, like, I probably would use contrast paints a lot more if I got into them sooner, because I tried them once on my guard models that I got with the Kill Team set, and I'm like, yo, this fucks. This shit slaps so fucking hard. I love it. Yeah, base paint's pretty cool too. I like the base paints give you a more, like, consistent color across everything. You know what I mean? Like I don't think you get away with using contrast paints on a Space Marine. But I think some people do, and it ends up looking good. But I don't know how they work that. I mix paints for my Dark Angels bases only because I don't think anyone makes the grayish-greenish blue that I'm going for flagstones. Oh god, that's gotta be hard. That's why I don't have specific visions for things. I'm like, you know what? If this turns out a little bit funky, I am mentally preparing myself to be fine with that. Because if I don't, it will destroy me. I know myself enough to know that. Okay, alright, okay. I hate painting the underside of things because I have to like hold the model upside down in such a way that it like absolutely does not appear on screen at all. There we go. Oh, that's the only part of, yeah, it's the only part of the fucking spear that has like cloth bits on it. That's the only part of the cloth spear that has cloth bits on it. I'm just slapping paint all over this guy in ways that you can't see, but that's okay. Base paints really are bread and butter. I'm using more varied paints, getting into new systems, though. Hell yes. Contrast paints make Shatterpoint models a breeze, for example. Yeah, contrast paints, like, they can only they have their place. That's the way that I put it. Like, you can't use them for everything. Like, definitely not. Like, I think I saw somebody who tried to, like, paint a vehicle with contrast paints, and it was just like, oh, buddy. Oh, no. What have you done? Hello, Styx. Welcome back. Welcome to the show. Which is just me looking really close at my model going like, what the fuck am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? I found that base speed paint contrast paint, that bone speed paint contrast paints works super nice for Deathwing Terminators. Hell yes! Gives them a subtle dirty staining look to the bone armor. Fuck yes, fuck yes. Yeah, like, Space Marine models are hard to work with when it comes to contrast paints, I find. Like, that's the big one that sticks out to me. Okay, he's got some bullets on his back there. I could probably paint those. Has anyone seen Death Note here? For some reason, I read the entirety of the Death Note manga when I was in high school, which is an odd choice for me. Like, it's not the kind of story that I think I would, like, pick up and go, ah, yes, I want to engage in this. I was like a teenager. I knew it was popular or something like that. Death Note. Dude, that looks fucking awesome. Thank you! J. Radke? Radk? That's how I'm pronouncing it. I'm glad my hard work is appreciated, and I still have so much more hard work left to do. It's a never-ending struggle. Yeah. I was into a lot of manga when I was a kid, actually. Like, that was... I mean, is it really that much of a surprise? Let's be honest. I was always kind of a dweebus. You know what I mean? But yeah, I remember there was a time when I would read a lot of, like... I read a lot of manga I read a lot of manga growing up. Like, I think it was because they were like books that had pictures in them. And I was like, yeah, this is like reading, but my tiny little child brain can stomach it. You know what I mean? It's been nice listening in. Hell yeah! Always a pleasure to have you, A-Stick. Always a pleasure to have you around. I'll always be here to yap and yap some more. Okay, I need to, like, really get in here with some things. Sort of undo the weird, like, foamy teeth job that I gave him earlier today. Ugh, embarrassing. What do I do if a snake ate my Terminator captain? YouTube user RW Lana. I take it you live in Australia then, because that to me sounds like the only place where that hypothetical could feasibly happen. Oh dear, why is that jostling? Alright, there we go. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? Cat, that's right, it's me! That's my name. Legally, I'm told. I don't know if that's true or not. Let's see. This dude's got, like... I don't know if you can see it, but I think this dude has, like... Let's see if I can... This dude's got, like, Joker scars. Like, look at that. Like, look at that. He's got scars running up. He's fucking Joker-fied. I'm gonna give this guy a big set of fucking, like, red lipstick. I'm gonna Jokerize him. I still have his little halo things. Still have his little halo things, since that's the only thing that's left. I'm trying to decide what to do with it. Make a memorial for him. A memorial for a soldier who's lost to battle. Yeah, that's gotta be rough, though. I have a lot of, like, half-dead Space Marines, that, like, beefed it, during my flight to Canada. So, I think at some point I'm gonna have to do, like, like an apothecary stream where I just go through and, like, rebuild all of the old models that, like, snapped in half. Which is tough, because it was, like, the first ever kit bash that I did was, one of those Space Marines that broke during my transit to Canada. It was a Space Marine assault intercessor who I basically, like, took an arm that was, like, reloading a gun, so it's kind of like this, and I basically shoved 2 chainswords in his arm, so it looked like he was holding 2 chainswords that he had clearly stolen, and is, like, pointing a gun to try and, like, fight anyone off who was trying to take his chainswords. I love Double Sword Dave. But he broke, so I have to fix him. Ethan, you are very cute/handsome. Never give up on your dreams. Oh, stop it, YouTube user Dr. Snepper. Thank you. I will never give up on my dreams. My dreams are to be financially stable and own a house, probably. I'm boring. I don't know if you ever gleaned this, you know what I mean? Like, I come on here and cosplay as this quirky little thing. But, like, during the day, I'm just a boring man. I'm a guy. I'm a dude. I'm a man. I'm a Canadian. I'm like a raccoon in the garage. The Green Grinner. This is an orc who just loves the Joker. Like, that's his whole thing. That can't be it. That can't be it. I'm not doing that. Fun Space Marines are the best Space Marines. So true, bestie. We love not taking anything in this fucking game seriously. Wait, what else can I still paint? Okay. Let's see. I might see what other, like, lead belcher I can get off him. I, like, crunked this. I gotta, like, readjust this. God. I fucked up. Oh well. My Space Marines are all trans and feral, as they should be. As they should be. Canonically, they are all transhuman. So transgenderism ain't too far off from that. Like, you're already halfway there. Hell yes, YouTube user C. Refuel. Hydrationate. That was a word that I said. I have a Batman Who Laughs statue with a pentagram's hand. Ooh, that's cool as shit. Listen, Western comics and Western cartoons, like, only get, like, a handful of, like, good figurines. But when they do, they go all fucking out. Like, the good, like, Western comic figurines are always, like, fucking, you know... like that just so I can have it. Western comic figurines are always like, hey, here's a Batman statue that's like 4 feet tall and is heavy enough to like kill an adult if you bludgeon them over the head with it. And then anime figurines are like, hey, I don't know anything about anime figurines actually. I opened my mouth to start speaking, and I was like, if I get one thing wrong, the internet will kill me. It's awesome because the Joker has chains on the Robins. Deeply upsetting, but I can see the vision. I can see where the enthusiasm comes from. I'm surprised I haven't seen anyone do Jane's Workshop. Someone has to have done that. Okay. I'm gonna go for his, like, weird little... I always put, like, weird little, like, steel caps on their boots. Steel-capped boots. It's 4 AM for me right now. Chat, am I cooked? Probably. YouTube user may die. I would go to bed if I were you, but that's purely because I have a strict bedtime of 9 PM. As I said, as I have stipulated, Boring Oldman is my name. I am a boring old man with a strict bedtime. And you know what? I love it, though. I love going to bed at 9 PM, and I love waking up at 5:30 to 6 AM. Somewhere in that time threshold. Means I can get out, I can hit the gym, I can maybe go do some morning grocery shopping if I need to. It's great. Lads love the lead boots. I don't know if that's canon or like part of their actual design, but I always love giving them the steel-capped boots. You know what? It probably is. Like, why would they have those weird little things, actually? Alright, okay. I always feel like the steel capping on their boots is like... It always takes me a couple tries. I'm so, like, nervous that I'm gonna get the mixture wrong on their metallic boots that I always make it too thin. And then, like, shit, I'm gonna have to go back and do another layer. And so I go back and do another layer, and then it's too thick. And then I fuck it up. And then I shade it and dry brush it, and then it's fine. I overthink a lot, I think, is what I'm trying to say here. We get it, Ethan, you have a healthy sleep schedule. And I will continue to brag about it. The spear looks chewable, I don't know why. I don't know why either. It's not. It's not. Is the Timber Orc canon? He should be. They all sort of wear the same thing. It's crazy. Where are all the orcs getting these boots from? I thought all of the orcs, like, just loved war and killing. Do you think there's, like, one grot out there who's just, like, a really good tailor? It's me, the cobbler. I make the boots, and that's it. Honestly, yeah, give me that. Give me that Black Library book. Give me like a really down-to-earth like drama about all of the grots who do like non-war related things to avoid going off to war. Like, give me a book about all of the grots who like make the boots, or like cook the meals, or like brew the fungus beer, or like do all these mundane tasks so they don't get like strapped to bombs and like thrown at people outside of cars. Give me the regular guys. That's what I want to know. You know what I mean? Give me a drama about just regular ass people. Hello. Is it Christmas? Why are you dolled up for Christmas? He's wearing his Christmas skin. That's his exclusive holiday Christmas skin that that he's decked out with. He is festive. We bought him that little festive collar at the fucking dollar store for like 200 cents. It was good shit. He is not crunchy anymore. And he does have a heart condition. Poor little man. Poor little guy. Let's see, what am I doing? Give me a book about a grot dealing with a messy divorce. Honestly. The implication of grot divorce, like, implies the existence of grot marriage, and I very much enjoy that idea. Hello, YouTube user Pandelf Darwin. What's poppin'? It's good to have you. I'm painting little men. I like to hang out and paint little men. I like the placement of my light now because it looks like I've got a summoning orb. Whoa. Here's your screenshot for the day. This is the video thumbnail. I don't get my videos thumbnails. I should probably start making stream thumbnails. Hi Ethan, hello, Ali K. New camera? Technically. I found this camera like stuffed in a drawer. Like I brought it with me all the way from Australia, and I just completely forgot that I had it. So then I was like, oh, I could use this. And I was like, fucking pulled it out, and now I have it. Okay, let's see. I could just do like a splash. I've got a splash of break though. Hell yeah, brother, ponder that orb. I do be ponderous. This has to be said about me. There's one thing I do, it's the pondering. Okay, let's see. Alright, I've really, like, stained a lot of his clothes with, of course I made his undershirt, like, creamy white. I just absolutely stain the shit out of everything that's, like, on top of his shirt, and then I'll paint over that later. That's fine. I'm fine. I'm totally okay and normal with the choices of painting color that I'm doing right now. Okay. Alrighty. Alright. Let's make sure that's all good. My science teacher paints the same little men. Your science teacher knows what's up. He knows that there's strange little guys that need to be painted. They need to be colorful. 70-pound Kane Corso has her own Halloween costume. She was a convict. Aw. Because her breed is so misunderstood, she was having a grand old time. I love dogs in costumes. Which is what I assume a Kane Corso is. Okay, actually, no, I've got a little bit more Wraithbone that I could do, actually. I just realized there's a little bit of like a cloth wrap on the barrel of the gun up there. Which is like, yeah, you can see the barrel sort of wrapped. There we go. I'll just paint that Wraithbone real quick. Because whenever I'm painting, I sort of start thinking to myself, like, okay, what can I... I really start thinking to myself, like, what can I, like, use all this leftover paint on? Like, do I just let it dry out? Because I got a bunch of, like, paint pads that is all, like, covered in, like, half-dried paint. I should really make a collage with them. Aw, Santa's not so little helper. Maybe I've been converted into a dog man, who's to say? I've always been more of a cat person. But living with a little dog has been fun this past calendar year. It's nice to know a pet that actively regards my existence as something that's beneficial to it and society at large. I've never had that experience before. Every cat that I've ever interacted with has not cared whether I live or die. As is their nature. Ethan dog. Oh god. Let's not make that a thing. That's my evil alter ego who does crimes. I would never do a crime. That is my solemn vow to you. As long as I am alive, no crime. What accent was that? God, I don't fucking know. Listen, sometimes you just have to accept that I'm gonna say things, and I'm gonna be a little weird about it. Sometimes you're just gonna have to accept that I'm gonna be a little weird. It's what I is. It's like people questioning when I use the word scrumped. It's either that old balloons boy. Neither's great attributes. Listen, I would be fully happy to be the world's only fucking hot tub balloons tower defense streamer. No, immediately regretted saying that. I was like, hey, that would be funny to say. And then I said it, and I was like, no, I don't like that, actually. I don't like that, actually. Do you wear fake nails? YouTube user Reach. I don't wear fake nails. These are mine. These are real. I brought these from home. By which I mean I grew them on my human body. That's just how they look. I don't paint them. That's just how they look. I'm deeply sick. I don't even know if I could wear fake nails. You know what I mean? Like it's. I got big nail beds. I feel like if I wore fake nails, they'd be like my nail would be like this big, and the nail itself would be like weep. I'd have like cat claws. Every stream you get more and more relatable. I'm also sometimes gonna get a little weird. I'm just gonna be a little weird. And I can't lie about it. Because if I lie, they'll find me. Alright, how am I gonna do his gun? What do I normally do for the orc guns, actually? Let me have a look. Okay, so it's just the black and the... It's just the black and the Balthazar gold normally. Okay, I can trunk down with that. I can get jiggy with it. Ethan, your streams tickled my ADHD just enough to get base coding done? Hell yes! Ryan Seaward, thank you and you're welcome. Both. I exist in this world to be second screen background noise, and I accept this about myself. I know what I'm about. Let's see, I was gonna do something and then I completely forgot what I was gonna do. Ah, yes. I'm gonna get out my little pen. I'm gonna get out my little one. My little itty bitty detail pen. Pen? I mean brush. Should probably keep all my brushes in something a little more secure than a fucking pencil case. That's how they break and fray. Fray and break. Ooh. Some of my tips are coming off and I don't think I want to do salon nails again. My real nails feel weird now. Oh boy. Yeah, see that's why I just like slap that's why I just slap like nail polish on the beds that I got. Also keeps me from biting them, you know? Like it's really thick. It's really THICC thick. What planet am I on? I'm here. Okay. Now, I'm gonna do a little bit of Balthazar Gold. A little Balthy. A little Bow Wow Balthy. Okay. Yeah, because there's like a couple of details on like the back of his gun there that I could get some paint on. Yeah, so much dog hair in this house. It like gets baked into the model. There we go. I'm working with a brush that's so like thin right now that I'm like actively trying not to breathe while I put the base coats down. Just shh, 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 shh. Everyone shut up. Everyone shut up. I need perfect quiet. I need perfect quiet while I do this. I need perfect fucking quiet while I do this. Okay, you know what? A little choppy, a little crunky, but I got the two axes on his gun painted. And you know what? You can't really see the details unless you're me, so that's fine. I can live with that. Literally, half of the most important parts of the mini painting process is just going like, you know what? That's fine. I can live with that. You learn a lot when you paint minis. But the biggest thing you learn is just acceptance. It's like, you know what? That's chill. The realization that I'm going to be in surgery again in a month just hit. You know what? It's a hard thing to do, but, you know, health is a journey. Health is a process, and health is just, you know, it's something that we all go through. You know? And all in good time, it'll be a distant memory, no doubt. All in good time. Alright. This time next month, I'm gonna have part of somebody else's body in mind. I mean, hey, that's metal as hell when you think about it. I mean, think about it. You're like a cyborg. Hello, YouTube user Silver Pale. What's poppin'? What's the haps? I'm painting little men. I'm painting guys. There's a whole bunch of, like, shit on the side of this fucking guy that I've forgotten about. There we go, there we go. There we go. Alright, I've hit the point of the night where I'm just like in Zen mode. Just absolutely chilling out. What's poppin' always makes me giggle. It's a line that I continuously come back to. I use it. Ah! I dropped him. That was real. That was a real fucking scream I scrumped. Like, that wasn't a bit. That wasn't... that wasn't like an over-exaggeration. That's literally... Fuck me. Good God. Okay. Alright. I am alive, and I am okay. Okay, I'm good. That was the scream I scrumped. And I just have to live with that. Alright, so here we go. Satellite radio. She screamed till I scrumped. Oh boy, okay. I love it when I get to the point in the mini painting process where I can like I can use a little brush. I love it. It makes me feel like a doctor, like a surgeon. Maybe that's just because I've been watching too much Chicago Med. I like Chicago Med. Chicago Med implies the existence of Chicago Small and Chicago Lug. There's my dumb joke for the day. I'm back, hello. Welcome back, YouTube user Reach. What's poppin'? That's always my go-to question. Okay, let's see. Alright, I love it when a magazine for like the gun that someone's holding has like a hollow middle where you can see all the bullets, because you literally just like put like a straight line of gold down on in there, and it's like, ooh yeah, love that. Do not look at all of the fucking like splash marks where the color is blared onto the rest of the magazine. Because normally I just like put a really fine tipped brush like right down the middle, paint all the pretty bullets inside, and then absolutely stain the rest of the magazine with my shitty brushwork. And I have to go back and clean it up later, but that's fine. That's all part of the process. All part of the process, I tell myself, knowing full well that I'm creating more work for myself later. Jesus Christ. I just looked at these instructions and thankfully the model's gonna be way easier to magnetize than I previously would have thought. Hell yes! We love it when a thing we thought was gonna be difficult actually turns out to be way better or more simple than we anticipated. That's the Ethan special, baby. Okay. Alright. Hello from Russian community of 40k. Hello, welcome. Welcome from the Canadian/Australian split demographic that I guess that I am. I don't know how to quantify myself. I don't know how to label myself. Working on my knobs? Hell yes, Chaplain 1112. I've got a bunch of knobs that I should be working. Wait. I got a bunch of knobs that I should be working on. That's better. Gross. Alright. Let's see. I love when I can start putting metallic paints on stuff. It really makes me feel like the whole project is coming together. You know what I mean? Okay. Working on my knobs, if you know. Gross. Listen, I'm not the one who created the language. Blame the British. Alright, I think I'm gonna make the tip of his spear. I think I'm gonna stick with Balthazar Gold for that one. Okay. I like Balthazar Gold because it's gold in name only. When you put it on anything, it looks like a really, like, shitty, rusty metal. Which is perfect for the orcs. But somehow it's also perfect for, like, the Aquillas of the Space Marines. It's weird. It's like magic. Like, whatever context you're using the paint on, it just works. Feels weird giving them all sluggers, but I'm not ditching my power claws. Hell yes. I mean, I wanted to make... When I started making my army, like, I wanted to give them all, like, just as many bullets as possible. Like, originally, I didn't want flamers, I didn't want rocket launchers, I didn't even want melee weapons. I just wanted big guns, big dakka, more bullets. But then I realized that orcs aren't good at shooting. So then I just started giving them whatever. I was like, alright, you know what? Fuck it, I'm just gonna have fun with it. And so that's what I did. And I never looked back. And that man's name was Albert Einstein. And everybody clapped. I like how this rusty spear that I'm painting has like a little bit... It's got a little bit of the like original sprue that it was cut from, like still on the blade. It's probably hard to see at that close distance, but like it's clearly just like a defect of how the model was originally like packaged on the sprues. But it works for the orcs. Like it makes the spear look even more like rusty and jagged. So that's one of the things I love about the orcs. All of the imperfections and all of the flaws that you have in the model, they literally just look like they're meant to be there. Nothing looks out of place, and I love that for me, because it makes me look like I know what I'm doing. Balthazar Gold seems to become more gold when highlighted with other metallics. I guess that's true. Yeah, I guess I like to keep it rusty. Like, yeah, like, I only give it, like, Agrax Earthshade to, like, give it some shade. And then I like dry brush it with like Xandri dust, I think, or like Mornfang brown. Like I don't give it something to like add to the shine. I might make this spear a bit more shiny than some of the other orc metals that I've done, just because this is the boss knob of the commandos. Outside of that, it's mostly just been like rust, dust, and guts. You got any flash gits? They're decent at shooting. Ah, see, that's what I've been told. I've been told that the flash gits are good for shooting. But I'm gonna be so honest with you right now. I think the flash gits are kind of ugly. I think they're like they're charming, but they're also kind of ugly. I don't know. No, that's mean. I just don't think they fit the aesthetic that I'm going for. This looks like the kind of dude you could have a few beers with and play an online fishing sim. Honestly, I could see that. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I think the original intent for this orc, as designed by Game's workshop, the original intent for this orc was to kind of be like almost like a leather daddy, like bruiser, I guess, because like this is not the correct arm that this model is supposed to be having. This is an arm from the one of the Squighog Boys set that I have. So he's like, you know, riding a giant dinosaur, like holding a big old spear. But I put the spear on this guy, and I think it's the combination of the spear, the hat, and the like open vest that makes him look more like a fisherman than like a, you know, quintessential leather-clad bouncer, which I think is what they were going for. Because, like, the other arm that he has outside of the vest, like his original arm that he's supposed to have, is, like, so fucking thick, like, bodybuilder thick, that, like, I think they were going for a little bit more of that vibe. But literally just by, like, replacing his arm, and, like, giving him a spear, it's like, oh, this is a fish man. And you're right, you could crack a beer with him. I did say he looked like a fishing dad when the stream started. It's true. It's true. It must be said. Oh boy. You know what? One day I'll be old enough to appreciate fishing. I'm not there yet, but I know it's gonna happen. You take me out onto a fishing boat right now, and I'll be like, no, I want to go home and play video games. But eventually, I'm gonna hit, like, I don't know, fucking 5 years older than I am now, apparently, and be like, oh, you know what? Going out to the lake, casting a rod, my idea of an afternoon. Alrighty, okay. There we are. Right. Alright, so I put a whole bunch of metallics on him. A whole bunch of other colors here and there. Alright. I'm liking the progress I've made on him so far. I like when I get to this stage of painting because it feels a lot more like, it feels a lot more, I don't know how you say it. It feels a lot more like impactful, the work that I'm doing. Like now that I'm not just like putting the same layers of like the boring base coat colors on again and again and again and again just to like make sure those bases are there. Like it actually feels like I'm having a lot of fun, you know, putting on the detail colors and putting on the like shiny metallics and everything like that. But that being said, I think I am going to call it there for the night because yeah, I made good progress, I think. I've also got another, I actually earlier today, like I built out another one of the commandos that I want to like base coat and paint. Like I know I said that I wanted a more like bullet-centric orc army, but I just couldn't resist building a burner boy. Like he's got the fucking flamethrower with like the flames coming out of the end. That's the good shit. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it there for now. So thank you all so much for coming along and hanging out with me while I do my thing. I hope you all has a wonderful time. I always love to chat, and it's always good to see all of your smiling faces. Because I can see them. Remember this. I'm casting a spell on you. Zap. Good night, team. Oh no, I dropped him again!